What is going on, guys? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys some of the best perk combinations in Black Ops 3. Now I'm only 7th Prestige, but I feel like I've played this game long enough and I've gone hard enough in this game to actually be able to put together some decent perk combinations. And keep in mind, I've used lots and lots of perks on this game and I've sucked a lot. But I've gotten a lot better at the game, and I've really put together some of the best perks that I could figure out, and it's really helped me out when playing, whether it be just getting higher kill streaks or surviving, or just doing better when trying to defend bombs or attack hard points. I don't know. Either way, hopefully this video will help you out, and we'll see if we can make you a little bit better at Black Ops 3. So the first thing I want to say though is that when I describe these perk setups that I'm using, I want you guys to know that when I use a submachine gun, the submachine gun class that I'm going to talk about, when I use an SMG, I'm doing the same thing most people do. I'm running into the spawn. I'm playing the objective really hard. I'm just generally playing on a small map. When I'm using an assault rifle, I'm more often than not either camping or just playing mid-range. I'm not necessarily running into the spawn. So keep all that in mind when I describe the perks that I use for each of these class setups. So the first one I want to talk about is the submachine gun class, and this is one that a lot of people use. Everybody uses submachine guns, and I generally run 3 attachments. I don't want to talk about the attachments because that's for another video another day. But I generally run 3 attachments, which leaves me plenty of room for perks because I never run lethal or tactical grenades. I think it's a really pointless unless you're playing something like Hardpoint. But the perks that I use on my submachine gun class are Afterburner, Ghost, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor. Now, before I go any further, I want to let you guys know that in the last few Call of Duties, however many Ghost has been in, I've absolutely hated Ghost. I've been the biggest Ghost hater. I love Dead Silence, but I think Ghost it just took it too far. I hated that. I thought it was really cheap. And now they've brought up Ghost to where, even with the last couple years, it's been you have to be moving for Ghost to even work. And now it's like, Ghost works if you're planting or defusing bombs, or if you're using kill streaks, you can't be seen, which I love a lot. I think that's really awesome. But in this game specifically, I think this game is literally, Ghost is like one of those must perks. And the reason for that is because one thing that I noticed a lot when this game first came out is that people were spawning everywhere. No matter what game mode you were playing, people were always coming up behind you. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the movement system. People can jump and wall run and get places a lot quicker and in different ways that you wouldn't expect them to. And people were always coming up behind me. I could never stay on a streak. I could never, put together like a good run. And it was really annoying. And when I figured out that Ghost, did all the things that it does now, it really helped me out when trying to play. And Ghost is one of those perks now that I use on almost every class setup, unless I'm playing Search and Destroy, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But the attachments, again, are Afterburner, Ghost, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor. Blast Suppressor and Ghost are probably the best 2 combinations ever, ever together. They're the best, unless you're playing like Search where you want to run Dead Silence. I generally don't run Dead Silence on a lot of these classes, again, unless I'm playing Search, because there's so much loud noises. There's so many people running around and shooting and wall running and jumping, and not a lot of people use Blast Suppressor. So honestly, I don't see a big use in Dead Silence. I kind of find it as a waste, unless you're trying to get into their spawn and just hide. But I don't think Dead Silence is worth it. I think Blast Suppressor is a huge help when it comes to the perk 3 greed, just because you're always jumping around, especially in Black Ops 3. It's a game where the movement is just so insane. And I just feel like when you're using Blast Suppressor, every time you jump, you boost jump, no one can see you on the minimap. So if you think about not using Blast Suppressor and you're just playing an average Call of Duty game, it's kind of like the other team has always a UAV on, like all the time. It's like unlimited UAV, because you're always jumping around and showing up on the minimap. So Blast Suppressor is a huge help. Afterburner, I like to use with my submachine guns because I just run into the spawn. When I'm using an SMG, I'm generally just running into the spawn or playing the objective. And Afterburner just helps me get there a lot faster. Now, if I'm using an assault rifle, obviously I'm not going to use that because I'm not trying to get somewhere extremely fast. But with my SMG, if I'm trying to rush a hard point, trying to rush a flag or the ball in uplink, Afterburner helps me out a lot because I can just constantly jump, constantly slide, and I can just go really fast. I want to talk about assault rifles for a little bit before I end the video. First off, the KN-44 is an assault rifle that I tend to rush with. I don't know why, but the KN-44 is that gun that I kind of act like is a submachine gun. So when I use a KN-44, I use almost the exact setup. The difference between assault rifles and SMGs for me is I generally run more attachments on my assault rifles because I feel like I'm wasting power to my gun if I'm running the same perks I am in with an SMG, because obviously I'm not going to be running around that much. So why would I use Afterburner? You know, I don't really necessarily need fast hands, because again, I'm not going to be running around that much. I'm just kind of going to be chilling in the middle of the map. So I use those slots to run extra attachments. So with most of my assault rifles, I generally run 5 attachments. But with the KN-44, I run 4 attachments, and I run Ghost, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor. I explained to you why. Those are the best setups. And with all my other assault rifles, I generally use 5 attachments, like I said, and I run Ghost and Blast Suppressor. And it's literally, those two are the best combination ever. It may sound really cheap, but if you're trying to stay alive, you're trying to do good, if you're trying to help your teammates out, then those are the best 2 combination perks that you can use. So the last thing I want to touch on is Search and Destroy. Like I said earlier, all you have to do for Search and Destroy is trade out Ghost for Dead Silence. So technically, if you're using a submachine gun, you could use Afterburner, and instead of Ghost, you could run Fast Hands, Blast Press, or Dead Silence. So trade out Ghost for Dead Silence. Ghost is not needed in Search and Destroy, honestly. Like, you normally don't have to worry about people getting lots of UAVs. Every now and again, someone will get a UAV, but it's only for 1 round, so it's really not worth it. So definitely run Dead Silence and Search. That's kind of a must in that game mode. I figure everyone would probably know that by now. But anyway, guys, I hope this perk kind of video combination helped you guys out a little bit, make you a little bit better Call of Duty Black Ops 3. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.
Turn me up, so.